to keep her alive a little longer. But it just seems like if you come too close, Tiny's just going to toss you back, VS rotates in, hit a magic missile, and you're basically gone in the mid. So who can play from a longer range? Who's able to be able to evade? Storm Spirit pickup.
It's pretty good. It's definitely pretty good. The stuns on OpTic's side are dodgeable, bench stun and avalanche if you're on the money with it. However, Curse into Arrow is really scary for Storm. And I think this is a very Mirana favored lane, or very is probably an overstatement, but it is Mirana favored. One of No One's absolutely biggest assets as a player is his ability to win lanes and play extremely aggressively but know the limits at the same time. Storm can't really do that most of the time. Like, if he's playing against any ranged hero in lane, you just accept, okay, I can't kill until level 6. Like, that's not happening.
What is this cosmetic on solo? Like, I know the Arcana's there, but it looks like almost a Marilyn Monroe kind of snow-style blow-up on the bottom of the CM.
I feel like he has the exact same outfit as I do, doesn't he? Let me see.
It's a lot of particle effects. So he's got the immortal headpiece, and then the Arcana.
Do I have the same?
You do. Yeah. So you see it there, but there's just no like an ice bit around it.
Well, I can check.
You got literally the same items as he does.
So which one would that be?
Down to the bow. So it's the Arcana piece underneath. The one where she doesn't have to walk.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But that's just the Arcana, right?
Yeah, it is. It just looks really funny on the Dire side with the way it just spins up now.
Oh, let's see.
I don't think it's done that. At least I've never noticed it doing that. And then the Winter Wyvern from... come on, PPD. Where's your skins? I expect a higher class from a TI winner. Alright, laning wise, let's get ourselves as all the voice lines get out. So it will be duel off 33 and Zai together, VS and Tiny. Bottom lane, it's going to be Pycat onto that Juggernaut with PPD's Wyvern, and then CC towards the mid. Phoenix off lane for Pasha, so it's a 3 position, or it's a core. Let's just stop saying 3 positions. It's a core position. Phoenix, solo, no surprise, he's the sacrificial Crystal Maiden.
You know what?
Yep.
It's a 3 Phoenix, this game.
It's a 3. It's a 3 Phoenix.
Phoenix is not a 1. I don't think you can really...
he's a transition 1?
I feel like you don't put Phoenix and you're like, okay, guys, as long as Phoenix is super rich, he's going to carry the game. Like, Phoenix can do a lot of work with farm, but it's not... It's fair to call it a 3 this game.
I think this is actually one of the greatest taunts that was ever made.
30 seconds
just to get all of my cosmetic feelings out straight away. Sunny side up. Yeah, last one, Ramsey's in spec. Top. And Storm mid.
Yep. This is actually a pretty classic lane in a way, Phoenix Shaker, because Phoenix alone is really weak in lane. But if you help the Phoenix by just blocking the wave or giving it a bit of lane presence that it can play around with, it's a lot easier to deal with, so...
We're going to have a bit of a rune trade-off. Okay, that's a nice fissure. Pasha was able to get the bounty on bottom, so VP will claim a couple, but Pasha hasn't skilled on purpose just yet. He's holding his Icarus dive in case it's required, and Pycat cannot dive, but some heavy damage very early on. Meanwhile, up on the top, Ramsey's on the run out of here, 33, and Zai really looking to hit hard, so they get the runes, but they're burning early consumables.
The amount of regen on these two teams. Pasha started with a Flask and 9 tangos. Zai has Flask and 6 tangos, and 33 has 9 tangos. Like, they know they're going up against a Maiden here. Let's
survive hard, battle hard. Bottom lane, at least, you can have a healing ward for Pycat and PPD, so they've got all the regeneration in the world down here. Last hitting is the only problem against the sprites of Pasha. And then mid lane, no one. CCNC can just play a good lane, like a good range lane against no one.
Yeah, I think Mirana's goal in this lane is just to, at every turn, you just hit the storm when you can. Hit the storm every free hit you can get. No one's done a good job at pushing the lane though. He got level 2 first and secured himself a couple of CS. But CCNC isn't doing too bad for himself either on the tower.
And they're really going ham up on top. Salve has to be burned from Ramses. 33 is still holding onto the tangos, and Zai will have to use his own salve. And they just come back in again. This early wave of terror bringing Ramses down to, well, only 3 armor. It's still fine though. Oh, sorry, 2 armor. 3 is the reduction. And they're gonna go. Level 2 is up. Magic Missile, Avalanche. No toss because he went for the tree, so Ramses into the tree line. Tries to just jump himself away. The tree toss. Ramses is low. That's the stick charge that gave him that little bit of extra life.
And the dispersion point. He dies there if he has Desolate. I think. He needed that. He needed that dispersion. Yeah, they're pressuring the lanes really well here. Well, both teams really are playing very aggressively on the small things, and that's what you're going to see out of the good teams at this tournament in this patch. They will pressure as much as they can to try to get that little advantage as the but finally does come in from 33.
They chased him pretty deep.
Yep.
Not a lot of mans to work with. They're not going to follow up into solo. I was waiting for mid lane just to go a little bit weird with CCNC having that double damage room, but hey, that's what happens when you leave casters as observers.
Just blames Griff somehow.
Yeah, thanks Griff. Actually, he said he would cast, but then there's just no space in the room.
Thanks, Griff.
Thanks, Griff. This is a nice bit of farm for Tiny. Oh, he lost the range creep.
So he's getting backstabbed. This is tricky.
He's at least got his own creep wave to help him. No, he's got 4 stick charges available to him solo with no point in Frostbite, so just into the Frost Blast.
Never mind. He has sticks and a Fairy Fire and a Tango. And Solo didn't get time for a second Nova, so he's fine.
It's all about survival.
Yep.
They were ready for it, as you said. Like to burn up from PPD. Trying to cause some problems for Roger and Pasha. Pasha, not the greatest on the CS out of all the cores. He's only now just hit the double digits. And hasn't been that as much of a nuisance to Pyke as he probably wanted to be. That's 2 full waves coming at him. Pyke can even just spin that for farm if he wants to. But not a requirement. Just hold it back. Waiting for Roger just to come in and hit him hard. It's amazing how much times like 33 can just farm underneath the almost his tier 2 tower. Oh, that's a nice fissure. Pycat's body blocked him, starts to go for the spin, chasing up after Pasha. That spin is going to last not long enough, and he knows that Pasha has stick charges available. Now Roger, with all that damage, hits the stun and the follow-up damage.
That's a bit of an uncharacteristic mistake from Pycat. He actually wasn't even close to getting that kill. Very over-aggressive and changed his mind way too late to back off and gets punished there. So they will grab that kill on Roger, as you said. In the meantime, looking at mid, this is kind of the outcome I was expecting. CCNC with the lead here on Mirana against Storm, playing very aggressively. Has 30 CS already, minute 4. Very, very high.
He's almost a full level in front of no one. No one's still got a full creep wave coming into the tower, but that's not the position that no one wanted to be in. They're going again up on top. Avalanche out. Wave of Terror as well as Magic Missiles already connected onto Ramsey. Solo moves over trying to create some space. It was actually the creep wave being pulled to create the space in the first place. Ramses, they're going to toss in Zai, looking for the kill on the spec, able to claim it. Even if Zai dies here, it's all for the greater good. Solo's got Frostbite back off cooldown. He can go on to Tiny, but he won't do it. Meanwhile, in mid, no one underneath the tier 1 tower. PPD does his rotation. CCNC, the Fairy Fly, will make him survive. And then salves up quickly. Really quick, really fast rotations from OpTic to get kills in the space of 10 seconds of each other.
Yeah. Bounty runes looks like a 3-for-1 split if Solo gets this top one. That is what happens when you rotate for ganks around the 5-minute mark, is that you give up that bounty rune control. But it's still fine getting a 3-for-1 out of that situation.
You're still getting kills on the big heroes, and Mirana as well as Tiny are the #1 as far as net worth goes. So it's a very safe place to be. They're going to go again over towards Ramsey. Stun. Avalanche and Toss available. Ramsey's very, very low on life, and again it's the stick charges that will save him. He waited as long as he possibly could. The Spectral Dagger, not enough damage onto 33. Meanwhile, Phoenix gets to die underneath the bottom tier 1 tower almost. And Solo will be fine. More 1 charges. They just burn so many abilities on this top lane that the charges just keep coming the way of VP. And no one actually had to back off the lane.
Yeah, this is something that happens to Storm relatively often. Is if you have a very bad matchup, you just retreat to the jungle a little bit when you're level 4, level 5. Oh, missed that zip actually. He still lost his range off. Not too happy with that one probably. He needs to be careful not to get arrowed here. He can actually die. Yeah,
CCNC's got Leap available. He started taking damage from the tower, but 12-1 charger. CCNC looks injured, but has the extra life to play with. Meanwhile, PPD and Pasha. Bird versus Bird. PPD actually doesn't have his Arctic Burn anymore, so he can't just jump away. And Pycat doesn't have the intimidation level of 6 yet, but Zai's the man in real trouble. Ramses and Solo going after him. Frostbite, hold him there. And Zai, wait, did they actually not fully? Yeah, okay, they've got it. It's a little closer than it maybe had to have been.
I got the kill, but it went to Maiden. And you look at this net worth of this Spectre right now, and he is not having a good time. Like, you look across VP's board, it's almost top 3 net worths currently sitting on OpTic.
And OpTic is still finding levels, like it's 4-3. The net worth is still a little low for their supports, but this is what we kind of expect with OpTic. Like, Zai's been heavy sacrificial.
Yeah. Zai is very poor for a position 4, actually. That's the reason they're not further ahead than they are. He must have spent a lot of gold on regen. He has 2 deaths and still no bootsman at 7 on the 4.
They're going after Ramses again. Underneath the tower. There's a level 2 wave of terror from a Vengeful Spirit. No armor to play with, and 33 just hit so hard, but Solo, great body blocks. It buys time for Roger to come in. But Zai's got Wave of Terror and Magic Missile both available. Avalanche Toss combination coming off cooldown in just a second, and now it's Roger tossed up and brought down. So the kills separated out. No one's looking for something in return but the Moonlight Shadow. Mirana's already level 6. And he TP'd out in the tree line. The old Muji, the Nova was so close.
It was there. He had him if he didn't have Raindrop. That was a really nice read from Solo. That was very impressive, actually, that he went for that Nova. He would have got the kill, but the Raindrop saving the day there for 33. He spent a lot of gold. This is his second Raindrop, so that's like that's 450 gold on that. But you know, you're willing to spend that to win the laning stage.
Yep.
You're still ahead, even after investing all that. Oh, CCNC.
Yeah, Pasha's right next to him.
He has 3 leaps.
He does, and 14 one charges, so Roger gets the first stun. No one needs the extra control. Leap number 1, leap number 2, and leap number 3. Pasha turns on the Sunray. PPD, no cold embrace, but he can slow down Pasha and CCNC. He will die, but Nova out. PPD just has to fly himself away. The Arctic Burn was running out, and they get the kill onto the Mirana.
I'm really surprised they got him there. I thought those 3 leaps were going to be good enough, but Pasha on the money there with the Phoenix movement. They set it up nicely by dropping the Fissure and having Storm jump. Like, the moment that happens, you'd leap twice. And then Phoenix was able to cover the distance afterwards. So, nice sequence from VP to get that core kill. And that's a big kill. As the richest hero on the map, you always want to grab those kills when you can.
Yeah. Slows down CCNC's domination too. You do not want him just getting out of control. And now Solo and Roger move back. Like, they know what they needed. You were talking about it with the ES previously. Like, ES needs farm to actually do something. He at least got wands as well as his Tranquil Boots up. But the Blink Dagger is going to be his critical thing.
Yeah.
But that means they need to be involved in fights, which is happening again. Wave of Terror, that's level 3 now. So every time 33 throws out, he was hitting about 140 on each hit. TP out from VS, but Roger's there at the right time. Wave of Terror is over towards Ramses. Now 33 does his own run out. Pasha heavily involved across the map.
He does leave his lane empty though, so that means Jugger is just free farming and nobody's taking that space.
Into Arrow. The creep blocks it, however. CCNC didn't have the right angle, and this allows no one to jump down. They're going to try and capitalize Virtus Pro. Another double stun from Roger. Right place, right time, and they bounce over to CCNC. Not a lot of mana to work with from no one. Got 7-1 charges available, so CCNC will have to burn another leap to get back to the tower. This will give no one the rune, the mana back again. And that is a costly miss on the Arrow. The creep was literally standing still, ready to catch it from the get-go.
So I didn't see the situation. Was it a miss from CCNC or was there no angle?
He had an angle, but he had to reposition for it. We may be able to get a replay of it.
I think a lot of the time these curse into arrows are actually not that difficult if you have leaps available, but he might either not have had many leaps or just had the worst position when they set it up. So, because, you know, you don't miss curse into arrow, right? Like that's,
yeah,
you just don't miss it. So
you shouldn't.
Something must have been happening there.
Yeah, the 3 creeps came around him, in towards the mid lane, Roger as well as Solo. Observer ward's down, they want to keep fighting, they want to keep this pressure on CCNC. PPD doesn't have curse for another 13 seconds, that's where the window is open. But it leaves no one to defend this top lane almost all by himself, and Pasha on the bottom lane. Nova's available, Pycat's not going to try and force it, however. And there's a heavy rotation now coming from OpTic towards the top. They're bringing in both Mirana as well as Wyvern to fight. I think they want to make sure that no one's totally shut down.
It's a big kill. When do they have curse? They have curse.
Yep, they have curse.
No, this one's not going to miss.
This time they connect. Jump in forward, long duration stun. And that's a guaranteed kill.
Yep.
And it's a guaranteed tier 1 tower as well. No denial possible. VP just cannot defend it. They can fortify the delay, but it's still OpTics.
And OpTic on the other side of the map are not going to lose anything because their Juggernaut is just sitting in this bottom lane. This is one of the really big advantages that Juggernaut has, is a lot of the safe lane carries this patch are hard to leave alone. Like even if they have a good start, if the enemy team keeps pressuring you in your safe lane, you struggle a lot. But Juggernaut's a hard kill, especially for this dire lineup. They kind of need an Echo to kill him, and they don't have the dagger, so you can always just spin TP out, drop a healing ward even, and maybe survive. Just, you know, play it stable. And it opens up the map, the fact that they can leave Pycat and he can feel good about it. If they want to kill him, maybe they'll pull it off once, but how many heroes are they going to need? Like, what space does that make on the rest of the map if they gank him with like 3 or 4 heroes?
Yeah, benefit versus cost just doesn't come into it then for him.
Yep.
And once again, they have to try and hide up. Moonlight Shadow allows OpTic Gaming to close the distance. They want to bring down Ramses, make sure this spec never gets any kind of movement forward, but okay, they'll kill off the Crystal Maiden. She's the easier one just to burst damage down. A quick centering ward planted. Nova, great position against OpTic. They have to let the curse out over on Spectre. So by 33, the time to get out of range. Yep, no stun to arrive. But Storm, a long fly forward, toss back over, no one. The tree toss was looking for the kill on him. The one chance gave just enough life, but now CCNC. Arrow flies forward. No one has to bow back out. The secondary Starfall able to kill off Pasha, and they're searching for Ramses. No wave of terror, but no one. Not a lot of mana to work with either. Trying to regen up. He'll ball lightning a little bit further away towards the east. Wave of terror and arrow both missing. And no one. He's still in the trees. A quick leap forward. Now they'll find him. And this should be the Starfall kill. No one. Ball lightnings can't dodge the secondary drop, however. But it's Vengeful Spirit who needs more help. CCNC. He's looking for the right angle for the arrow. Now he'll throw it out, but the damage is already done. VS tries to swap and buy a little bit more time. Raindrops helped him on that front. But the front is gone. Meanwhile, on bottom lane, Pycat takes a tier 1 tower.
Yep. Jugger is just enjoying life, really. He's just having a good time. Nobody's pressuring him. He gets to play that. And this whole fight for OpTic is a big win. The fact that they end up getting that Storm in the end as a kill for CCNC. He killed 2 cores there with the Mirana, so extending his lead by a big amount here.
And they've got so much vision. They're watching Roger farm up at the moment. The Fisher flies out and actually connects onto PPD, but Roger's got no more money to work with. Use the creeps on the side to get the extra Splinter Blast. Avalanche Toss now in range for 33, which will mean a guaranteed kill onto the ES, slowing down that Blink Dagger, but they want more. Solo, Wave of Terror, swapping back into Mirana. She doesn't have the Starfall available, but that won't matter. The Magic Missile from Zai, he'll use all his abilities to keep the CM controlled.
OpTic are in a really, really good position in this game, because when you look at this VP lineup, if they don't have any of their cores having an excellent game right now, which nobody really is, like no one's game is hard. Pasha did some good moves early, but he's not farmed at all, and the Spectre is full-on recovery mode still. Who is going to make the moves? You look across to the other side, there's like, who's not going to make the moves? Like, OpTic can go with whatever they want. They can just kill heroes across the map. They pressure the lanes. And, you know, VP has to find a way of buying time. I think the Shaker Dagger is important. I think the Storm getting his first real item in the Kaya will be important. And Spectre, even just a Yasha. Like, these little things are going to add up in a big way. But where's the space? OpTic are just... they're choking them right now. This top tower is gone now, so VP has so little... they have so little map to work with, really.
They've done almost no damage as well. I think like in total maybe 500 damage against all 3 of the tier 1 towers of OpTic Gaming, so they've never been in a position to push either.
And another part of the reason is, first of all, the lanes didn't go well, but how good is their wave clear, really, when you look at it as well? Like, it takes time. It's not that bad. Like, Storm is good at wave clearing. Phoenix is okay, but it takes time.
Ramsey
Spectre is really bad.
Avalanche will connect. Wave of Terror keeps the vision up. Ramsey's Spectral Dagger is worn off. The Magic Missile connected, and now the Starfall. Ramsey's, he has to one-shot jump, but it won't matter. Roger does get the Echo Slam, and this is now trying to allow no one to capitalize. CCNC, he needs to leap once more, but they have the control. Roger gets himself a double kill, and maybe even a triple. PPD tried to come in to help out, but all he ends up doing is giving his life over to the Storm Spirit. And that's some much needed money. That's actually Roger's Blink Dagger from that fight, from those 2 kills.
That was so important. He got 700, 800 gold there out of this great first fissure, perfectly placed by so much time. Sure, they do kill Ramses, but basically what Roger does is he forces them to overcommit and gets in for the echo kill, gets the follow-up. Very nice here out of Roger individually in that sequence. And also the Spectre as well, just like identifying how he can stay alive for the absolute longest time by going into the tree line and bait in CCNC effectively. So a bad move. Well, there's another tower gone though, so...
Yeah, but it does get denied by Virtus Pro, so that's the upside. They forced out Pycat to spin and TP. That's the reason why he couldn't finish it in time. But it's still more position on the map that VP is losing, and I'm wondering just how long it's going to take for Ramses to recover. He's got less net worth than the Earthshaker. Obviously, he has just got a big injection, but they need some big fights to work. As OpTic, smoke will break, Virtus Pro, they'll see Solo, Roger gets the fissure off, connects over onto 3, but Solo still slowed up a little bit. Arrow flies forward, but it's the Starfall. That little extra drop when there's only one person around it. Yep, guaranteed damage.
It's making space for Ramses though. When all of OpTic are playing in the top half of the map like this, Ramses feels very comfortable pushing out and farming bottom, and he knows that if there is a good chance top, he can obviously just haunt in and join them.
Yeah.
So this solo death is actually not that bad. It kind of just gave Ramses 2 full waves and a lot of information to work with. I'd imagine OpTic want to Roche soon. They have Healing Ward, they have Venge Hell, they're actually going to do it right away.
Yeah. They'll lose their tier 1 tower in bottom lane for it. You already saw Ramses drag the creep wave off. And looks like Solo smoke with Roger. They are... Oh, they were just up the stairs, so they weren't visible to the Observer Ward. But that's why PPD is kind of on scout duty. The Healing Ward's not regenerating Pycat's life fast enough, so a quick Moonlight Shadow. Virtus Pro still with the 2 heroes smoked up. It looks like a trap, and PPD tries to do it. He turns on the curse onto the Phoenix. 33 comes in close, avalanche and toss. They guarantee the kill onto the Phoenix. A good Fisher, but Solo still actually just keeps flying out, letting it go. 2 heroes lost for OpTic. They don't have the Miranda anymore. Now Pycat dragged back in. He wasn't even able to Manta. He couldn't get the Omni Slash off, and OpTic Gaming, one by one, they're actually getting picked. 3 heroes down with no buyback. 33 comes back in again looking for another kill. He'll have the extra health thanks to PPD with his Splinter Blast, and he's got the Cold Embrace, and they need this kill, but Roger blinks in for the Echo Slam, putting him down. And all that hard work that OpTic did, Roshan sitting at 1/3 life. I don't think VP can really finish it, however, but
that's still...
they got a great fight.
That's crucial, that they go for the smoke, even though I was about to... Like, this smoke break from PPD is great. He finds the curse onto the Phoenix. They blow up the Phoenix together with all their spells, but this freezing field is doing a lot of work. And PPD finds himself in an awkward spot. And when they've committed all of these stuns on the Phoenix, who's going to stop the Storm? He's just running rampant. They used everything. They used a Tiny Burst. They used Venge Stun. Pycat ends up dying without getting Omni Slash off. It's a couple of things there for OpTic going really wrong, and a big comeback from VP.
But they can at least get back in and do Roshan.
Yeah.
Because Virtus Pro burnt everything they had apart from Storm Mana, so you bring back to life, and OpTic Gaming now have the Aegis the Immortal in the hands of the Juggernaut, and they still own the top 3 net worths on the field, even if the supports are, well, piss poor.
Yeah, I was looking over their net worth. I was like, how are they this far behind when they're winning so much? But their supports, they're dying in the moves. That's why. There's 6 deaths on the Venge. There's 5 on the Wyvern. You look across the board. Maiden has 3 and Shaker has 2. They just haven't been the casualties. It's more of the cores that have been pressured on VP's side than the supports. And what this means is you look at this 2k net worth lead, and you look at the net worth in general, it's oh wow, they have the top 3 cores. But these net worths on the supports actually really matter. Solo has a drum, he's closing in on a Shadow Amulet for his Glimmer Cape. Shaker with the dagger.
Oh, he was actually burning the drum to try and escape this.
Yeah, he's gonna be
if he didn't, he actually wouldn't have survived that. Blink forward from 33 would have found him. He was on a deep warding mission. He had one of them dewarded.
I wonder how OpTic are going to approach the next 5 minutes. They've got to feel like if this goes really late, they're in trouble. Storm is one of the absolute worst matchups for Wyvern in the whole game. It is so annoying to play against because he just jumps you in the backline. If he has an Orchid, you die. There's not really anything you can do. And
so it's just kill and push, right?
Working on it.
Like as long as you know the ES's position, you can get that push up high ground.
Yeah.
So it's just kill and push.
Again, it's just difficult. Like, you look at this OpTic position they're in the game, but it doesn't feel like that big of a lead to me. You just need one big fight for VP.
Observer Ward saw everything. Pasha, jump away, but the attack. Arctic Burn doesn't reach him far enough. So Pasha has the distance. But then they look towards Solo in the mid. Zai catches him out. And support rotates quickly. 33 just walks up to him. Guys, finish the job. Solo back underneath the tier 1 tower. Omni Slash finds the Phoenix. So nice pickoffs for OpTic just to open up some space.
Yep.
The VP's prepping a trap on bottom lane. They want someone to come out. Blink, echo, destroy.
And while these kills are good, they're not advancing the game, right? Like, VP are the ones pushing the lanes out, so sure, you get these picks, but Storm pushed in bottom all the way, Spectre is pushing up top all the way, and OpTic can't convert this mid fight into any tier 2 tower or anything. They just get... They got 2 kills, but they're the ones getting pulled around.
They have a big advantage, though. The Observer Ward, they saw so much, the Blink is on cooldown, Tiny couldn't get the grab onto no one.
If he gets the toss there, that's a really big kill, but no one just barely getting out of that situation.
And they know with the scan that the TP was completed. Ramses is now doing some damage to the tier 1 tower up on top. And there's no one really to come and defend that. And you can TP in the Tiny, but he needs more help. And Solo's already preparing it. He's got the Observer Ward in very deep on the top lane. It's almost like they're already willing to see that tier 1 tower just fall. So they get the information on the rotation a little earlier.
So this is a big item. The Spectre Manta. It's
gonna make it a lot harder to control her now.
It's not. It's
and against Juggernaut.
Spectre is maybe the best hero in the whole game to get a Manta style on, just because of how valuable it is in multiple situations. Spectre is a hero that wants to be able to get out of trouble in specific situations with it, and the Desolate on the Manta illusions is so ridiculously powerful that it gives him solo kill potential. You'd imagine in the following fights, in the upcoming ones, that Ramses will haunt, jump next to PPD, use his Manta, and then jump to someone else. And the Manta is going to kill PPD if he doesn't freeze himself. Even if he does, he takes a lot of damage. Like, this pure damage hurts. And that will be a really big problem that they have to solve. It's also great against Omni Slash, like a lot of value in this Manta this game.
Yep. VP is not coming out to take that fight. That's the last outer tower of Virtus Pro. And it goes down.
Radiant's top tower is under
Also got a
attack.
Silver Edge. Interesting way for Pinecat to do it. He's got the recipe first, and no, the Shadow Blade is there too.
It's in his backpack right now. You want to pull that out, buddy? There you go.
So, he'll switch it. But Silver Edge, he was actually queuing up Diffuser Blade beforehand.
Yeah, I think they want a way of bursting the Spectre. So if he can Silver Edge Omni Slash, he can solo kill him, or do it with the help of Tiny at least. Tiny's damage on Spectre is no joke when Dispersion's gone.
Oh, Virtus Pro starting to be a little bit more grouped up. Holding on the southern side of the map. Obviously no one still needs that space in mid lane to farm, but he's finished up the Orchid to go with his Kaya, so very willing to go for a fight, but is he willing to live? No! The damage is just enough from 33. The Wave of Terror from Zion was able to clip him.
Yep. 1 or 2 hits from Picat too during that Avatos. That was a very quick move from 33 there, identifying the play. Very nicely done. I think 1 second later and that fails. Storm would have got out, so very well played by them.
Now it's going to be interesting TP if Pasha wanted to complete it. He's actually TPing up to a shrine right on top of Picat. But more and more bounty runes to grab.
So I want to commend VP on how good a job they're doing at playing a lineup that is just inherently greedier and playing from behind. It's not easy to play these situations in this patch where the enemy team has control of the map, but VP have a very good understanding of how far they can push the creep waves, how important it is that they still get these bounty runes. Like, they just had a dead Storm, and they traded 2 for 2 bounties after they've lost all 6 towers. That's really, really good. OpTic, in comparison, have lost 1 tower.
Yeah.
And VP are still, keeping the game afloat. The graph is going up a little bit here because of this Storm kill that they got, but you could look over the course of the last, 15 minutes. OpTic were looking so hot, and they haven't really gained anything.
Well, I think VP are going to be willing to give them the team fight now. Moonlight Shadow out from OpTic. The Observer Wards from VP to show anything, and the Echo Slam! Oh my god! That is just absolutely perfect. Then you can let it go too. You will get him with the Omni Slash, but the follow-up stun from Pasha coming out of the Nova locks down Picat, and 4 heroes from OpTic gone. TPD is on the run as the sole survivor, and they are hot in pursuit. No one's got the distance jump, the fissure to hold him there, and a triple kill for no one. They'll take the mid tower. And OpTic Gaming, you've taken all the towers on the map so far, but it is VP who own this. Let's see it again.
See ya. It's almost like they knew the replay was playing. They said it pretty much on top of that. That's great. Yeah, very nicely set up. So the keys to this to this moment for VP is that they have a pre-placed sentry, they have good positioning, and the way OpTic move in their heroes. I think they're moving it in the wrong order. If you're going for a play like this, Tiny needs to be ahead alone in front. The Mirana being next to him gives VP the freest fight ever because CCNC just gets echoed and has no fight. If that's a solo Tiny in front, VP can try to go for that, but, you know, like you can't really echo this Tiny and feel like you're just going to win the fight off that. He has a lot of status resistance, he has a lot of health. When you get that bottom in it, it's a no-brainer. You just go for that echo and you win the fight, so...
I still just can't believe, like VP have these deeper walls that are letting them have the early warning system, and then they just perfectly were split. Like, the greatest position they could ask for to begin that fight with. I'm wondering, like, it's not for the one to try and, like, OpTic are trying to find the observer walls, but you see just the coverage of sentries which came down from Virtus Pro. They wanted to make sure that there was no vision around their critical areas, and there was no vision in mid. They dropped 2 sentry wards, in fact, looking for it. And PPE just he's not coming up roses as he searches for the vision of VP.
Nope, absolutely not. And it's worth noting too that this is a Maiden buying all these sentries and covering the map, and he's still ahead of the enemy supports. Like Solo is having a very good game here and closing in on that truly game-breaking level 15 for Maiden support. Like especially...
She's gonna have Glimmer Cape to go with that.
When you think of a Maiden as a 5, right? This extra 150 GPM is so huge because you basically, wards don't cost anything at that point. You just have, you can think of it as like, okay, now I get my wards for free, and my gold now goes into items. That's kind of how it goes. And it makes a really big difference. He will be getting items, like maybe a BKB later in this game will be a great item. Perhaps he gets other utility items for the team, like both Glimmer and Force Staff. All these options, he will pull further and further ahead of the enemy supports. And this is even a Wyvern who has level 10 GPM talent. Peter is very poor this game compared to having a 90 GPM level 10 talent. He's been spending a lot of gold on these sentries and obs and has only 1 kill to his name, so still no Glimmer.
Right now he's the best observer ward around Roshan. He's just waiting for Roshan to spawn, which will happen in 15 seconds. But they need to keep that mid lane pushed out. They need the top lane to have momentum to force someone from VP to come back and defend it. A difficult thing when you have a Storm Spirit on the field. He can move very quickly. Obviously, you're running like no Bloodstones on Storm Spirit this day, but it's a Kaya, BKB, Orchid, all completed on no one. And he's still not #1 net worth. It's the silent party. It's the reason why, like, when OpTic play 3 games in a day, and like I want to put my money on Pycat because he is always that big achiever, even if the team's behind. I say behind, they're 1K ahead. Moonlight Shadow, no one wants to be the primary target, or do they? They're going up after Pasha, the stuns, the control, it's there! The Phoenix will go down before it gets his Nova off. Ramsey and no one did get to the back line, however, but they're still battling against the Moonlight Shadow, but that's why they get the gem onto the Storm Spirit. Main vision is there, the Echo Slam from Roger. Space creation is absolutely perfect. Everyone is going to go down for OpTic. Pycat wants to run into a quick spin, but they have the damage output. No, the curse actually kills off no one. Diffuser Blade is up from Ramses. He'll track him down and get the kill as Roger blinks up. He's got the follow-up stun and an ultra kill for Ramses.
I'm sure we're going to have a replay of this fight coming out right now. Pay attention to how useless Wyvern is in this fight. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, look at this. They haunt, so they know where Wyvern is. There's, you see that green ball? Yep. Okay. So, enjoy your fight, Wyvern. So he has to buy back. Now that he comes back into the fight's over when PPD arrives. Fortunately for him, he does get the curse kill, so it makes his buyback worth it. But like the key to this moment is that OpTic supports can't play. They actually can't play if VP get to jump. Yep. Haunt plus Storm Spirit is like absolutely ridiculously difficult to play any support against, and they're just punishing them. They're eating them alive in these fights.
So do you just jump a different target? Like they saw the Phoenix and wanted to bring him down. Now they find a better target over on Solo underneath the Sentry Ward. Magic Missile into Arrow. Fidget gets a double stun. Damn, Roger's so good, and he wants to get out of this one. The Wave of Terror and the Starfall from CCNC helps to get the kill. So Crystal Maiden is down for a bit. Yeah, do you go a different target, or do you just go on the biggest call that's presented, which at this point was Phoenix?
That's the tricky part, right? When you look at this VP lineup. At this stage of the game, after OpTic missed their earlier timing, when they were in a really good spot to keep the pressure up and get that Roshan.
They see Pasha. Here they go again. Observer Wards.
Nice kill.
It's OpTic Gaming who have the extra vision. They started doing Roshan. That's a minute now without Phoenix. But and Echo Slam on cooldown for 26 seconds.
VP's lineup is just so good at teamfights, actually. It's very difficult to choose a target. I'm thinking about who they should go on. And I kind of, every hero I look at, I'm like, yeah, that's good, but then, you know? I think if I had to pick a target for them to go on, I think the absolute best target they can get is actually the Earthshaker. Because he is the biggest counterplay that VP has.
Yeah.
When the Phoenix counterplays, you have the BKB on Mirana and you have the Juggernaut spin. So you can, and you even have a Glimmer Cape on the Wyvern, so you can probably play around that. But the Shaker Echoes are ruining them.
And it's also, Roger's positioning. He's always getting 2 people in every single fissure, and it's normally a +1 core.
If they can find Shaker, that's the best. But it also feels like the least likely target to find, right? He has so much range to work with.
He's got Blink, he's got Yours to escape out, and now he's going to have a Shadow Blade as his next item. So this is the money into the supports you were talking about. It's just night and day. Like, there's no Blink Dagger for a Winter Wyvern. He did get a Glimmer Cape at least. And Vengeful Spirit went for the whole Vladimir's. So at least that thing got buffed up a little bit, I think, recently.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm feeling this item this game. I don't know if I agree with that purchase. I think there's other items that Zai could get that would be more impactful.
Oh, they got the jump. They found the Tiny. The Observe Ward was already there. Fissure control, follow up, but then again, Curse is up from PPD just to help out Tiny. I say Curse, the Cold Embrace. Both of them will end up dying, and VP, well, you burn the 9-second BKB on no one, but a kill's a kill.
So in that fight, Spectre pressed ulti and jumped on the Wyvern, and then Wyvern died.
Oh,
but he did get a Cold Embrace off.
I've only ever heard you talk this depressingly about, like, how do you analyze a situation? Hey, techies, buy a gem. Like, that's the equivalent of what I'm hearing from you right now.
I want to say playing Wyvern here is so hard. It is so hard, and I don't think PPD is doing a bad job. This is just exceptionally difficult, and that can happen when you first pick a hero like this. The good teams are going to take advantage of it. They have some key information, and they draft 2 great counters to this Wyvern hero.
Yep.
They actually even draft more, because you look across their lineup, they have a really great mixture of damage, so Cold Embrace is really bad in this game. There's Sunray, Storm Spirit is mixed damage type, tons of magic damage between Maiden and Shaker. It's not easy. They're not making PPD's life easy this game.
Yeah.
So what I think Venge, to finish off on that tangent, what I think Venge should have gone this game instead of Vlad's, I think an earlier pipe, which he's building the hood now, I think that would have been a really good item. I think perhaps even a Glimmer on him. Like, it's really the magic damage that's tearing them apart, and eventually the physical damage of Spectre will be a problem, but over these last 20 minutes, it's really been the story of Shaker and Storm killing people. If they had some more magic resistance to work with, they could have maybe stayed alive in the fights.
Oh, the smoke. The Observe Ward on the hillside once again. It gets information. Pikehead has a double damage room, that's why they're looking for the fight, but VP, they are all coming home.
Yep. They can take it easy.
Yep. Well, they're in no hurry, right? Like, they have the gold advantage, they have the experience advantage, and they've just completed up their new action item, which is the Shadow Blade onto the ES.
This is good discipline. This is exactly what you do in this situation. There's nothing OpTic can claim outside the base, so just wait in the base. You give them a bit of map control, you give them a bit of control here, but, you know, you feel strong about this late game, you want this Aegis to expire anyway. If you take a fight here, this is OpTic's best chance of winning the game, so just avoid this moment.
Well, now it's VP who can come and hunt.
Now that it's over, they can start moving out. They know the smoke has run out, Ramses has a heart.
And they're already Moonlight Shadowing. But underneath the Observer Ward, OpTic Gaming's deep vision they had previously. What happened to that Gem of True Sight that was on the field?
That's a very good question.
Because
there's one on Storm.
Yeah, there's one on Storm that ES purchased.
Yeah, isn't that the one? Did OpTic have one?
Was it just one? Yeah, okay, it was just one. There's only one on the field at the moment. I thought there was an extra one on the field, but I'm not seeing.
Sometimes the players forget them randomly.
They're just in the tree somewhere. Uh-oh.
It's happened before.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the second one. Wow, what a prophecy.
Yeah. Well, it's reaching that point, right? Like, how many times can PPD throw down a sentry ward and go, damn it? He's not finding anything, and they're walking underneath dire observer wards, and yeah, they're going to see one right here. I cannot highlight this anymore, but the issue is that PPD, did he buy it? And
he hasn't taken it yet, I think. It's in his stash.
Okay.
Oh, Roger. Oh, he got Shadow Blade off. I don't know if he... This is some sixth sense right here. He did not see Pikehead coming through anything, but he's feeling unsafe. Gets out of it. That was very close, actually.
He saw him walk over the observer ward near the Ancients, so I knew eventually that they'd be coming over.
Yeah, that's still... He waited until the absolute end.
Solo? Oh, you're going to ping a new target. He's still got Glimmer Cape plus TP out. And CCNC, Blind Arrow, doesn't see him. Sees not... Oh. Oops.
Too late. Yeah, and this, again, this is a good example of You know, the thing I'm talking about with VP and waves, right? They're pushing out the waves. Even the Maiden is just going out here trying to push waves and buy time, because the one condition that they need to avoid is that OpTic got to use this Aegis. It's expired. They didn't put any pressure at all on the map. It's VP pressuring them.
They at least saved the cheese on the Mirana.
Yes.
So they have that as a small thing, but VP Aegis is gone. They're smoked up. They're looking for the hunt. And all of OpTic now have to return. They know they're not the strongest here, but okay, CCNC as a Shadowblade ES, Echo Slams with the creep wave, and they're going to find the kill instantly. Even with the Cold Embrace, they still had enough magical damage to get through it. Wyvern goes down quickly, and VP picking their targets perfectly, but they're inside the OpTic base. They have to be careful as Mirana will buy back. We've already killed off both the support. CCNC, a dieback, it could be a leap away. Turn around and get out of there. He turned for the fight into Ramses, who had the heart, knew he had the extra life, and VP know it. They're not trying to tip CCNC, they're trying to tilt CCNC.
I don't think you need to tilt the guy who's dead until the game ends. It's possible that OpTic can defend here, but this looks really, really grim. They're losing minimum 1 lane of racks, maybe a second. I think the one way they save this game and stay alive is that PPD gets a curse onto the Storm next to Spectre. But he has Lincolns on Storm, so they need to break that one first. Now, this is rough, man.
It is. And Virtus.pro are going for more. Still 13 seconds till the curse is up. AKA Wyvern alive. And all of VP wait. Echo Slam is on cooldown for a little bit longer, but you can see Solo looking to zone them out. As far as vision goes, remember we are still during nighttime, so they don't see that deep into the OpTic base. It's their one real opportunity, but then Sentry Ward, they see Earthshaker coming close, but a quick blink away, but they use the opportunity. The curse is out, so Solo should be the one being picked up, but then it's only ES hitting it until Ramses comes in a little closer and helps finish the job. The stuns are out, no one bounces away as BKB does wear off. They haven't taken the melee racks on the bottom just yet, but when you hit with the sprites, 33 just cannot hit, cannot get close enough. And Virtus.pro are happy with the racks and a halving.
Yep. That's good enough for now. It did take the curse to defend, but they didn't get a core kill. It repels them. They bought the time that they needed.
And they'll take the shrines. And so much money. Spec's about to finish up a full butterfly after having Heart Diffusal Manta. Yep. He's beyond a beast.
How do you see the win percentage graph? Why can't I see that?
Oops, hang on. Not that one. This one. Win probability.
Why can't I see that?
Hit F8.
That doesn't do anything.
Then you have to rebind. It's 98% in favor of die.
I was going to say, generally Spectre lineups that are 15k ahead, they have a tendency of winning. Just a minor one. Oh, why can't I?
Maybe your Dota Plus ran out.
Oh, I see.
Oh, yes. No, it's actually unbound on your keyboard.
All right, there we go. That explains everything. Yeah.
All right. Roger's running around underneath the Sentry Ward. They need something here. Observer and Sentry cleaned up by OpTic. Echo Slam is back off cooldown again. But now the butterfly is up. At least that MKB from CCNC makes a lot of sense now. But VP kind of built into it. The Dire Scan won't ping correctly as all of OpTic smoke up. Roshan has another 2 minutes on the counter. And Roger's running over. Observer is nearby. Now remember that Gem of True Sight. It's still actually in the hands, like Tiny has it for OpTic.
Oh, this would be a big catch if they can kill Ramses.
Oh, they gotta find him.
He's killable here for sure.
Yeah, they Moonlight Shadow. That's a double damage rune on Pycat. They clean up the creep wave. Is it worth an Omni Slasher? They just got the damage enough, and now they don't even use it. Here Ramses jumps back in towards the mid. CCNC is chasing him down. Leap forward, pops the BKB. Cheese must be used. Ramses! Oh my! I don't know who's trapped in here with who. Rorschach, predict that one. PPD. Now he is the one being initiated on. No one jumps once again. Cannot curse. The Orchid's holding him back for the moment, so PPD will pop. And the buybacks are coming in thick and fast. Pycat looking for the fight, looking for the kill. The Omni Slash comes back off cooldown, but Roger locks him down with the Echo Slam. Buyback is available from Pycat. He'll probably have to use it. As the chase is on, another jump forward. PPD, how many times can you die in one game? We're really putting that to the test at the moment. Solo letting it go up on the hillside. Storm Spirit will go down, dropping the Gem of True Sight that Virtus.pro have, but no one can stick around for it. In fact, Roger jumps forward, manages to regather, and now they want to get back out. Pycat holding the Omni Slash. 2 Invis heroes next to him. He needed 33 to be there to find that Icarus dive. Just such a long ball from Pasha. Welcome to level 20. But they have to come home. The melee racks in the bottom lane is dying. Someone has to defend this. But they don't have the... It's one TP scroll in Tiny's hands. Roshan's not up for another 22 seconds. They have to TP back.
Wait, who just got a Hex? Someone got a Hex, right?
Hex on Pasha.
Pasha, okay.
33 didn't get back in time. The TP cooldown was actually so long that the Rags actually died.
Oh no, that's a blunder. They had plenty of time to set that up actually with the defense, but
they weren't looking for it.
It was that was a really big loss anyway for them. They used so many buybacks after killing Ramses.
They may even kill Pycat. They're chasing him down. Earthshaker staying along with it. No, TP coming forward. Roger, CCNC fires off the arrow. Roger just walks in front of it and then dodges. Sure. The VP back up, Roshan's up. This will probably be our next, well, it will be our next critical area fight. Like, I don't know how OpTic win this if they don't claim Roshan.
They have to get Rosh. And the dangerous thing here is that I think, so when you saw how they jumped Ramses bottom with the Tiny and Jugger combined, they had a double damage and they got the Silver Edge hit off. But they didn't Omni Slash. If there's one more hero there, maybe Ramses dies. But imagine the situation arises again without the DD. Like, they can't even kill him. Like, how are they possibly going to win this next fight? It's going to take some sort of ridiculous set of circumstances with like a double damage, 3 heroes ganking him, getting all the spells off in sequence, killing him off, him not having buyback, and then VP trying to fight. Like, that's what we're talking here.
Moonlight Shadow, they see Pasha. But you know he's the bait. Actually, they're a little bit further away, so Avalanche, tough combination. They want to kill off Phoenix and Pasha. No! He can Icarus dive away and Storm Spirit. Hey, look, it's PPD dying again. No one has just got a bullseye on his back. Goes after CCNC. A double kill for him. Jump on down after Zai as well. Ramses will claim him, and 33 is kind of in no man's land. I think he knows that he had to stay with the Juggernaut, but they're on the wrong side of the river. The creep wave's pushing in. TPs are not even on them. They can't even come back to base. This is GG. They can't return in time to stop VP from just winning game 1 of this 2-game series. And we even have an MKB from Solo, just for great measure.
Nice.
That's a terrific item by Solo.
If you want to end the game, do not buy Deso instead of this. He has a 250 attack speed talent. MKB proc doesn't work on buildings.
It's fine. He really just wanted to be a murderer. Oh, okay. Well, they find 1 kill. Pycat finishes his TP back out again. Fortification will slow things down, but he's got no Omni Slash. He's got nothing to work with. At least he can Manta dodge for a half a second into the spin. 8 seconds until Wyvern's up, and he will actually have that curse available as VP are deep, but it's too late. Done and dusted. VP, 44 kills, claim it in 44 minutes against OpTic Gaming, game 1.
That was a great game to watch, actually. I think OpTic's early mid game looked very solid. They did great.